feel as though recording your workout sessions is a double-edged sword. It's got its benefits and its downfalls. And when I consider the benefits, at least there's a strong analysis aspect that comes with recording your workouts. You can check your form, you can see, I guess you can also use your personal experience, so like what you were feeling in your stimulus, and adapting it to what is actually seen. Now, again, I think that's really beneficial and it helps out a lot. Also, there is that point of documenting your progression, the workouts you do, and essentially just confirming all the things that you were doing at the time. And you can kind of use it as a guise of seeing, okay, so what did I do in the past? You can use this form of novelty to see how you can change your stimulus, how you can change your workouts and all that in order to ensure you're constantly improving. But one thing I did want to mention, which was the major downfall of recording your sessions, is a loss of motivation. And I guess there's a conflict in the ideology that you are always improving. And this is what I wanted to concern this video about. Because I'm honestly not sure if I am actually improving every single day or if I'm improving at all in the long run. Now, typically I see improvement as a definitive increase in your form, or at least like your hold in a certain skill, or like your overall strength, whether it be defined with like quantitative numbers or with like reps and stuff. In the case of the planche, it's more about like how your appearance shows, or like the performance. How long did you hold the straddle planche for? Was your form good? Were you ensuring the stability and ensuring protraction, protraction, depression of your scapula, and all of those factors. But when I consider these and I look back at my workouts, sometimes I lose motivation because I feel as though I'm not improving at all and I'm almost regressing or plateauing. And essentially, when you compare yourself to your past and your constant achievements and like your highest highlights, then it becomes a bit detrimental to your mental strength and I guess your mental resilience, because you are seeing the peak of your performance at that time and you're realizing that, well, your performance right now may not actually demonstrate this peak performance. And again, we may say that, okay, so the way or the functionality of working out is that you have peaking, you got to you regress because you need to recover, and then once you recover, you increase in strength and you peak again. And it's like that slow, non-linear increase in strength with time. But I guess with the calisthenic skills, which are a lot more technically demanding, it's got a lot more nuance, because you can't necessarily perceive it in the way you can see improvement in weights. With weighted movements, you just add more weight or you add more reps and stuff. With a calisthenics skill, yes, you may increase your duration holds, but what if your duration decreased but your form improved? You may see this as an improvement, or you may see this as an adaptation of a new form or like a position that you're better able to understand. But let's say that you don't actually improve at all, and your holds are just not getting longer. In that case, it's somewhat demotivating. In my personal case, I've come to reconcile and accept that, my progression in general is not necessarily going to be linear. It's not going to increase all the time, and even if I see it in like long chunks, like months, that's still not enough time to see definitive progression. And I've come to realize that my pattern is I see a peak in strength and then a regression, plateau, and then I peak again. And with that, I wanted to mention that it seems like I need to frequently be in touch with my planche in order to ensure progression. And while I may say that, yes, I'm improving in the fact that my holds are remaining more consistent, my form is more consistent overall. So despite the fact that I may not have like that one maximum peak in hold and like in performance, this may not necessarily be a case of regression or plateau. this may be a point to kind of facilitate or to suggest that you are indeed improving because you're getting more consistent with the holds. And in that mindset or that perspective, you can actually see a bit more of a progressive or non-destructive way of seeing about your progression, because instead of considering as like a long duration where you are only seeing one tiny movement as your perceived improvement, you're instead seeing it in a holistic way and realizing that there's a lot more consistency based things and a bit more of a over time progression, and that comes with your mental perspective. So essentially those were the points regarding my I guess my improvements, progression, seeing whether I am am I willing to invest this much time into the plant and all that. Some people may look at my progression and my journey and be like, what is this guy doing? He's doing the exact same thing over and over again, and what? His straddle punch hasn't even improved, or like the form looks a tiny bit better, but why look at your session like a week ago or like 3 weeks ago? That was way better. Why aren't you improving? And people keep questioning. Then they start to try and pinpoint like flaws in your workout schemes and all that stuff. And I'm that guy. I'm the guy that's trying to find out flaws in my workouts and trying to like improve its functionality and maximize it all to the top, because I was in this trap of constantly finding the perfect and constant improvement every single day, that I denied the fact that you can't improve all the time. Now, I understand holistically in the long run, you should be improving over time, but it just doesn't seem like the case for me. I may be doing something wrong. Personally, I can't see anything wrong. No one has mentioned anything that I'm doing that's flawed in my workouts, whether it be my recovery, diet, sleep, and all that. But it's a mental trap. It's a rabbit hole where you find yourself to kind of, it's the curse of recording yourself, essentially. Because if you constantly record yourself, you're always going to see your past self and improve it. And whether this may be good or bad, ultimately you need to reconcile that you may not always be the best in the present self. You may regress, you may improve. And in that sense, it's a pattern and it's a long run game. So hopefully I see more progression in the future. I'm being patient. I don't really see this as like a very short term thing. And yeah, so that's basically it, and I'll finish it off here.